What's going on, guys? Ziad here from Between the Lines. What's going on? What's going on? We want to do an emergency podcast since the outrage online. We couldn't help it. We have to talk about it. So today we're gonna be talking about the Ballon d'Or winner, Rodri, the controversy around him and Vinicius, and we're gonna talk about also the Ten Hag sacking. So those are two. It's actually a really good day today for football.
It
Uh,
really is. It's a big,
yeah,
big day.
two big things happening. Ten Hag finally leaving. Sorry, Wassim and Mo. Uh, United might be back if
You know,
yeah,
this
if
is typical Chelsea luck, by the way. Before we play them on the weekend, they're gonna get a new manager bounce.
yeah, of course.
But
And
it
that
is what it is.
and if you play
That
us
team is hopeless. There's no bounce.
so let's see
I
what
agree.
Vinicius does and how he can play with the team. Anthony's coming back, so hopefully that does help. So yeah, okay. Le Ballon d'Or. What do you guys think? Well, who guys are
Um,
winning it?
okay, first of all, I definitely do think Rodri is a worthy winner.
Mm,
To me, he had consistency over the full season and going into the Euros, where he was arguably the best player, in my opinion, and in a lot of people's opinions, I think.
yeah,
Um, and I'm pretty sure he had some sort of record for undefeated
winning.
games.
Yeah, like or undefeated in the
Yeah,
Premier
an
League.
undefeated record of over 70 games, by the way, over
Yeah,
across all cup competitions, be it like cup competitions, the Champions League, domestic cups. And by the way, I was reading about this, and the only two people who hold this record, it's 73 games. It's Maldini and Rodri. So I
yeah,
think
but
that's
Roger
something
Roger has 74 games actually.
74.
74,
Okay,
yeah, 74. He
so
surpassed
so
Maldini's and Albertini's
no way,
Albertini's
Albertini
record.
too.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. So
Uh,
yeah,
yeah,
that's one thing. To be honest with you, I'm not big on stats, but I
yeah,
think that's definitely something notable, something that needs to be appreciated and looked at.
yeah,
And I think even if you look at Vinicius, up until the new year, no one was talking about him as a Ballon d'Or candidate. People were talking about Bellingham if we actually
yeah.
think
Because you know
we
what he
were
did.
up
Okay,
for
but
it.
he did the Ronaldo route. He did that. Okay, between quarterfinals to finals, I'm gonna kill it, and that's what people are gonna remember. And this is what's gonna win me the Ballon d'Or.
That's so fair. That's recency bias though. Like
Yeah,
Ballon d'Or is
but
supposed to be
that's
over
what
a full
happened
year,
with
right?
Ronaldo. Yeah, that's what happened
Exactly, which is why the Ballon d'Or in itself is a controversial award to
for
get an
sure.
individual award.
An individual
But
awards to a sport like that, 11 players, it's tough.
yeah, but the way we understand Ballon d'Or is it's over a full season, and if we're talking about full season, I definitely say Rodri. Um,
Okay, but
and
do you think him like Wasim? Wait, first Wasim, sorry. What do you think,
yeah,
Wasim?
I think I agreed even when we made like our guesses. I personally also said Rodri. I think over the year,
Yeah, both
I
of you
think
did.
this issue stems from like no one knows what the exact categories are. It
Yeah,
feels like every year it's like the goalpost changes just to justify who wins it. But
yeah,
overall, I did believe there was more consistency in Rodri's game than Vinicius, and I don't think it's that big of an outrage. It seems like the big
yeah.
outrage is
I
coming
agree.
from the Brazilians and like the Madrid fans.
Yeah, but also like the Brazilian media is kind of really turning on Rod. Sorry, Spanish media is turning on Rodri. And someone tweeted, you almost forget he's Spanish. Because everyone's kind of against him. People are putting Instagram stories. It's like, relax. It's not a big deal, in my opinion. I think
yeah,
I
but you
think
Rodri.
know
there's
what?
always a bit of a bias though when like there's Spanish players that play outside of like
Mhm.
Spain too. To be honest,
They
there
don't
is
rate the
that
Premier
part of
League.
that.
They don't rate the Premier League. If you think back to even Del Bosque's days, they used to not really call up Spanish Premier League players. It took David Silva a while to break into that Spanish team, and now
Yeah,
Rodri is getting the same treatment. Juan Mata got the same treatment, so it's not a surprise that you see Rodri getting the backlash he's getting for winning it. And by the way, 8 goals and 9 assists in the Premier League as a holding midfielder,
yeah.
and then you have Vinicius with 15 goals and 5 assists in La Liga
I know,
as a winger, an
I
attacking
know,
player.
I know,
I
I
don't
know.
think there's many arguments you can make for him.
Yeah, but I'm telling you, it's about the Champions League knockout stages. I swear, like I'm not again Ronaldo. I'm not trying to hate on him, but that's what Ronaldo did. He would be explosive in those decisive matches. He kills it, and then you forget what he did the rest of the year. So I can see why Vinicius could be mad, but the outrage from the whole media is kind of ridiculous because I think they both deserve it. There's no like one person that completely deserves it.
Yeah,
So
I don't think if Vinicius was given the award, people were going to um,
yeah, be that
have
mad. Yeah,
anything against
they're
it.
fine.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but also, um, what was I gonna say? I completely forgot what I was gonna
No,
say.
but like
Give me
Vinicius stats again are not that impressive, and again he played well,
Ronaldo.
obviously, but like of course deserving of top two too. But like to say that Rodri doesn't deserve it at all is crazy. He was player of the tournament in Europe Euros. Then he scored in the finals of the Champions League. He was really good the whole campaign in the Champions League. So it is not ridiculous to say Rodri deserves it.
It's not,
Like
and I think
it's
viewers are not used to like a defensive player winning or someone that's
exactly
not an
yeah.
attacker.
But
We've
Real
been seeing
Madrid,
Messi and Ronaldo win
yeah,
it and
yeah.
Benzema.
Yeah. Thing is, like, it's always attackers. So we always think of it attackers as the ones that should win the Ballon d'Or, even though, like for example, Iniesta should have won a Ballon d'Or, but if Messi wasn't there, he would have won one. So like
Schneider
midfielders
should have
would
won
have
a Ballon
gotten it.
d'Or.
I think midfielders would have gotten it, but they're just unlucky
Mm-hmm.
in the eras they were in too. So
Agreed.
yeah,
Agreed. And the controversy doesn't stop there because you have the full list that we're gonna get into as well.
People are just cheesed that finally an Premier League player won the honors. I think since Ronaldo in 2008, that's the
wow,
last
Yeah,
Premier
his
League
last
player
Premier
to
League.
win it.
wow,
And you know
wow.
what? I feel like the only reason the Ballon d'Or was given to Ronaldo in that season was it was already well documented that he was going to Madrid in the following season.
Yeah.
So I generally think if he wasn't going to Madrid, it would have been given to Messi again.
You
But that's
think?
my
I
Listen,
don't know, because I think
I
Ronaldo
generally believe that.
won the Champions League too. So I think I can see why he deserves that one. To be honest,
Oh,
listen. What
he
was this
played well, bro.
outrage when Schneider was robbed of Ballon d'Or from Messi by
yo, that
Messi?
is the biggest myth
Unrealistic.
in history.
It's not a
Biggest
Here
myth.
myth.
we go.
It is
It
a
is not a
myth.
myth.
Yo, it's a myth. Let's listen.
Oh, I
Even
remember what I
2010
read.
between Xavi and oh, say it.
No, go ahead, go ahead.
No, no, go, go, go.
Okay, I was gonna say Vinicius doesn't make a case for himself because like he doesn't help his case. He is not a likable character.
I know. I
This
swear.
guy,
I
wherever
agree.
he goes, like controversy like follows him.
Yeah,
He creates this like hateable character, an aura around himself that you know what? You're like when he loses out on stuff like this, we
yeah,
smile, we laugh
yeah.
about it, we
And you
we
and
make
yeah,
memes about it.
and you're not playing so like okay, for example, Ronaldo was hated at some point, and I would say he played so unbelievable that the people were like, you know what, we respect you no matter what. Like we can't like we hate you, sure, but we can't hate on your game. Everyone knew that. Like people hate on Ronaldo's like personality. Like Vinicius, for example, like okay, you played really well in a good team, but it's not like you were in unbelievable campaign in Champions League. You were amazing in La Liga. And Brazil, you were kind of underperforming too. So we have to take that in consideration. And they went out in the quarterfinals to Uruguay. So,
Yeah,
if we're going to go out through the whole year, internationally, Roger played better. You can argue that both of them played in the league as good as each other. And then, the trophies wise, Champions League for Man City, like, I don't know.
yeah.
So I
And
think,
sadly, but
yeah,
like moving forward. This is gonna be it's gonna play against Madrid and Vinicius, especially because I imagine Vinicius is gonna be in the conversation for Ballon d'Or for years to come, right? For the next 10 years probably.
yeah, yeah,
But whenever it's gonna be a close one, it's almost gonna feel like the Messi and Ronaldo one, where Messi is always going to have like more of the votes
yeah,
because he's more likable. Where in Vinicius' case, he's the less likable one. For example, today Florentino Perez didn't allow any of the Madrid players or
yeah,
the staff to
yeah,
attend the ceremony. Madrid
yeah,
won Club of the Year, I think. Bellingham got what top five? He was in top five. They should have been there to collect their awards to like be recognized, but none of them were there. And instead, Vinicius is out here tweeting stuff like, "I'm gonna do
yeah,
it like the next 10 times." Like, man, just shut up, accept it, and move on. Play your
yeah.
football.
It's not a
Let,
big
let it
deal.
do the talking. See, this is where Ronaldo let his football do the talking.
Exactly, I agree.
This is
I
the
agree.
difference. This
But
is the
but but
difference
but
in
but but,
personality
but
and
Ronaldo
character.
did talk some stuff, but I agree. Like this is so over the top. Like
Vinicius, this is your first time getting involved in such a big thing. Like
yeah.
let's do it multiple times, and then let's see what happens. Like then you can
But
earn the right to talk.
but
But right now,
let's be honest with Vinicius too. He hasn't said anything bad, right? Like he hasn't like okay, maybe he should have showed up to the Ballon d'Or
yeah, not attending
ceremony.
it
He
is
should have
huge.
showed up. Like but thing is like, for example, Ronaldo hasn't showed up before, but I know he said before, oh, I have a match the next day, I don't want to show up.
Yeah,
I think that's an excuse because if you won it, you would have went. So
hundred
I've
percent.
seen it happen in the past, but the whole club just say no, we're not coming anymore. Like you're like relax. Like it's
Did you
not
see
a
that?
big
Did
deal.
you see that quote that Florentino Perez put out? He's like, if Vinicius didn't win it, then it should have been Carvajal. And he's like, this is why Madrid won't show up to a place where Madrid is not respected.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Like
Feels
Carvajal.
disrespect
Wassim, what do you think about Carvajal winning it?
Uh,
or
delusion.
finish it. Where did he finish?
Politely, just delusion.
What place did he finish in?
And what?
Fourth.
Fourth.
So
Fourth. He
that
finished fourth in the
Carvajal
world.
managed to be ahead of Holland somehow.
Wow.
Yeah, that's.
Wow.
Mhm.
Look what trophies does. Look what it does.
I'm sorry, but did he have a more notable campaign than Arnold a few years ago, or like in Klopp's one of Klopp's first few years, like when he was
They're
on
always
the scene?
they're
He
always
didn't.
gonna look at the Euros. They're always gonna look at that. So
I understand, but again, like, see, this is where they confuse you, and the criteria is not clear. Is it based on individual performances, or is it based off of honors? Like you're winning the Champions League, you're winning the Euros. Like I'm sorry, but a player like Carvajal, um, he's solid, but I don't think he's the main reason behind Spain winning the Euros or Madrid winning the Champions League. Let's be real. Rodri was influential in the middle. Rodri doesn't go unnoticed. I think he has the most
yeah,
important position in both teams, for like both international and club football.
yeah. No, I agree. I think he also plays a major part in not losing games. Like the undefeated streak is
100%.
not just by accident. You know, there's a reason why it's there. Stat.
And
Uh,
he's a very disciplined player. Like, for I guess for players that are attacking, you look at their output. For Rodri, someone like Rodri, look at their discipline, and it's
yeah,
huge for a position that he plays in. I think he barely gets sent off. I remember like the one that springs to mind is the one against Forest last year. So he rarely ever like lets his team down. He too.
yeah. No, I agree. And is there any other players you guys were like, yo, that's way too high or too
No,
low?
I'll say that's way too low for Cole Palmer. And people are gonna say, "Oh, this is only his first season or whatnot." I can argue that Cole Palmer had a better year than Vinicius.
Yeah, I agree. And
Sure,
Diaz,
sure. Yeah, and who?
yo, Diaz, I'm seeing
Th-
Shaka.
There's a
Yeah,
player too many lists are high. Like Kane, honestly, shouldn't be 10th, or at least not ahead of some people. Like he
No,
had a
no,
mid campaign for like in England, and
no.
like
Bayern, he played
Bayern
really
didn't
well.
even win the league, so he
Yeah,
might
yeah,
have been like good at Bayern, even like later in the season, but they didn't win the league. I don't know why Nico Williams is there. He had like a good campaign in the Euros, but like looking at his stats for the year for uh, I'm like they're not
wow.
that good compared to like Palmer or
yeah.
Saka.
But
I mean, they're
people are
basically
gonna argue with you saying Nico Williams is not a stats player. He's more of like, he's gonna make an impact throughout the whole game. He's,
oh, so now we look at people with the eye test.
I test, but modern day football, I don't think any winger can exist without any output. Wingers these days, you're expected to put in numbers, whether it's
yeah,
assists or goals, and it's mainly goals. Look at all the wingers around the world right now. The ones that spring to mind are the ones that are scoring and they're being decisive, right? You're not gonna think of Sancho or I don't know. I'm just thinking about Chelsea right now. Sancho and Neto.
yeah.
These are not the guys you want long term. Like I'm always saying, I like these guys, but they're not gonna take my club forward. You need guys to they're gonna be scoring goals for you. So Nico Williams, you were amazing
But 15th
for
place is not bad. It's not bad. I think
only
between
fifth
even
place.
15th to 20th.
No, Palmer is 20. Oh, for Nico Williams?
Yeah, yeah.
Sure. I'm
Oh,
just saying he
oh no,
finished higher
Cole
than
Palmer is
a lot of
horrible,
players. Yeah,
horrible.
Cole Palmer 25 is crazy.
It's crazy. That's actually ridiculous. And then you put players ahead of him that I think just don't deserve it, to be honest. But again, like, do we take these lists seriously? I never thought of them as serious. I just liked it because it was stupid and fun, like to keep track of it. But I don't take it seriously.
You can't
I
take it
mean, who
seriously
cared
because
about this list since Ronaldo and Messi stopped winning and competing against each other?
they weren't even nominated this year, eh?
Yeah,
It's
sad
crazy.
times. Yeah, I think overall it's expected to have a shit list, to be honest. I think it's
Mhm.
always something that we always talk about, and sometimes you feel like it's for reaction, like the list
Yeah, it's
and
attention.
how they judge it. But again, I'm gonna say it again. Rodri isn't not deserving of this Ballon d'Or, any any less than Vinicius because Vinicius and him played I think the same level and it could have
Yeah.
gone either way. And Bellingham again, like even if Bellingham won it, by the way, again this was a toss-up year. No one was the outstanding player. So
No, there was no one outstanding. There
yeah,
actually wasn't.
yeah. So again, I think Carvajal is too high. I think Mbappe is a good spot. Him and Holland, maybe if they were fifth and sixth.
Yeah, that's fair.
Laturo, yeah, that's fair. Yamal, yeah, hopefully Ballon d'Or winner next year or something.
I don't know, man. Next year is
It's
gonna
too
be
early. It's too early.
interesting. So, Sterling? Did you say
Sterling.
Sterling?
I think too early. Too early.
Oh, too early.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, no, no, it's
Sterling.
too early. But like looking forward, you can already tell who the players that are gonna have consistency. It already looks like Lamine Yamal, Saka, Cole Palmer on there. Youngsters, by the way,
Yeah,
very young
but
players.
Vinicius too. You have to put him in there too. He's gonna come 10 times better.
Yeah, but from now, I think
Yeah,
those players are like the ones that are stand out, and
stand
they're
out. Yeah.
all kids, all young players, all lefties, by the way.
Listen,
Something in the
man.
lefty gene.
Yeah, I know. Lefty just play better, but Olmo
They're
too is amazing.
they're more
So
aesthetic. Oh, I love Olmo. Yeah,
yeah, Olmo you have to look
Olmo
out
needs
for.
a shout out for sure.
100%. Anything
Mhm.
else you guys wanted to talk about?
I
No, I'm
mean,
just
how
what
did
do you wanna?
the only one thing out of honestly the list of 30 overall, you can argue they're like places, but how did Hummel sneak into 29th?
I know, I know, I know. I agree. I don't get it.
Almost had a good season, but like relax,
Yeah, I
relax with the
know.
hype, man. It's like I want to know who. I understand these are journalist votes, right?
Yeah,
But
we should see the what's it called? The list of who they voted for soon.
Based on
yeah,
who voted for who, yeah, just out of
Yeah,
curiosity.
I need to see that.
But but overall, the top three when it comes to Rodri, Vinicius, and Bellingham, the main difference I think is just the international
Yeah,
performance. That's about it. Like Bellingham wasn't that great for England. Vinicius was not great for Brazil. While Rodri was great for Spain, and I think that's just the main difference.
yeah, yeah.
mhm.
Honestly, Holland could have been arguable too, in my opinion, because he had a great year, but internationally he wasn't there, of course, because
Sadly, when you play for a country like Norway,
yeah,
it's
exactly.
hard to
So
stand
if
out.
he was playing for Spain, or if he was playing for a big team, I'm
It's
sure
different.
he'd be like honestly top two and probably winning it. Not gonna lie, because he had a great year. And again, Holland is just a killer. Okay, now we're gonna talk about the Ten Hag sacking today, which was great news in my opinion for United fans and for some Premier League fans maybe, because now you
No
can.
Premier League fan wanted him to get sacked, man. I'm gonna say that. I hate interrupting, but yeah,
That's
no
okay.
Premier League fan wanted to stay.
Why
Continue.
not? What do you guys think?
Why not? I absolutely love the direction he was taking United in. I think he was the man for that job to get them relegated and to make them a little team to be toyed with. I think he was going in the right path in terms of deleting their history.
It was
And
definitely a work in progress. Like you could see their play style, to be honest with you.
Yeah. Okay, you're
It's
and
just
trolling.
like
a
he
couple of
said,
individual mistakes was just costing him wins in my book.
and like Ten Hag said, in the past two games in Europe, they drew both games against Porto and against Fenerbahce, two big away games.
Yeah,
And then
yeah. Apparently.
The Spurs game where they had a red card and then they ended up getting slapped up. He doesn't count that game, so that's the kind of manager. That's the kind of manager I vouch for
That's
sure.
what you need. You want to brush off the losses and just keep moving forward.
Not the positive mindsets.
I love starting the first minute of the podcast in sarcasm. No, I think honestly, it was finally time to sack him. I think it's been a while that he's been needed to leave. And honestly, I think he just wanted the payoff. If he had any shame, he would have quit because it was just not working. And he keeps lying to the media, to himself. Oh, we played really well. We did this well. No, you didn't.
You can't quit
We
though. You
won.
got to get your payday, to be honest. So it's good for him
I
to make
agree.
sure he got paid.
Oh, I'm not
17
quitting.
million. 17 million, by the way.
Oh, I'm not quitting. I'm
Get
for
your bag.
Hmm.
I'm for sure not quitting, but I think it's time that they replace him with a proper manager. At the time when he got hired, we all thought he was a good signing because tactically he showed some stuff in Ajax. But again, I think Premier League just shows again that it's a different game
But,
in my opinion.
but again, United just wasted a whole season because they just
Of
backed
course,
him, not all
yeah.
his players. Now a new manager is going to come. You might not want them, and they're going to have to go through the cycle again.
And now
Yeah,
you
this is
sack him
what
before
happened.
international break too. Like I don't know, man. I think you should have just waited, but it
But
was
the
too
issue
late
is, how long
anyways.
do you wait for, you know?
There was nothing to wait for, to be honest. I don't know why they even waited. Like there was no any patch of results that was going to make him
No,
survive.
I meant like wait till like at least international break where you give like Vinicius Lloyd some time with the team after you fire him. I want him gone. But like if you have an
Yeah.
opportunity to do that, I think it just builds a better transition.
And it's crazy what kind of direction he's taking United in because when he first came in, of course, they were supposed to compete and all that. But then this guy, in order to save his job, first of all, he kept mentioning the trophies he won, which I'm sorry, but domestic trophies were never just enough for a club like United. You need to win a big trophy like a Champions League or a league
Yeah.
or something in Europe. If you're in Europa, at least win the Europa League, and then something on the side, like a little dessert, an FA Cup, a Carabao Cup. But he didn't do any of that. And
Yeah.
then I remember reading on Twitter a lot of times whenever Ten Hag was very close to getting sacked over the past few weeks, especially before the past international break. They're
Yeah.
always like every time Ten Hag needs a result, is about to get sacked, his players get him a result. And the last time that happened was against Villa 0-0, where he absolutely played atrocious football. And so for you to say if Ten Hag is saving his getting a good result before he gets sacked, and that result is a draw to Aston Villa, man, that guy was dropping the standards very, very low for
That
United.
was an Aston Villa team that just beat Bayern and had so many injuries too. They had so many
Exactly.
players missing.
But what do
So
we expect from the team? I think United have shown that they haven't gotten any better, and it's time, honestly, time to replace them with someone that you think. I just we talked about this off air. We said, what's his name, Nagelsmann. We
mhm.
said, he could be a good replacement and maybe take some forward, attacking wise at least. We know
Yeah,
he's,
Nagelsmann,
yeah.
If
Nagelsmann
United are
might be.
listening, hopefully go get Southgate. Get your man.
Southgate.
Yo,
Yo,
stop.
so I was looking at the list of candidates,
Yeah.
and Southgate, Ruben Amorim, Xavi, and Thomas Frank. I heard Zidane's an outsider, but I don't think he's a consideration.
Zidane.
Thomas Frank. Yo, Thomas Frank. I'm sorry, but he's at Brentford. He hasn't done anything very much
Yeah.
like the notable at Brentford, apart from I think his first season where they maybe finished in the top
Listen,
10.
I hope he
Um,
stays at Brentford. Keep working on your project. He's like a pretty good manager for like the team that
Yeah,
he's in.
some
It's
managers, just
too.
like some players, you belong at mid-table clubs, which
Yeah.
there's nothing wrong with that. You're
I,
you're
I I
showing
feel like
yourself there, you're succeeding.
Frank's situation. I feel will become like a Potter situation at Chelsea. To be honest, just stick to
But
Brentford.
you know what? I agree, but I still think Potter needs another shot. Honestly, someone like Potter, I won't say he would win trophies, but if United consider him, which I think they should, he's someone to get the club going in the right direction. When he came to Chelsea, it was chaos. It was absolute chaos. We had players changing outside the dressing room. But anyways, let's not
Yeah,
talk
but
about
United's all about
negativity.
PR. They're all about PR. So, like, in my opinion, right now, Potter doesn't have a good rep. Like,
No, he doesn't.
his rep is down the gutter. So I think they won't hire him just because of that. But what do you think about Xavi maybe taking over?
Xavi, again, Xavi's not going to win them trophies, in my opinion. I know he won the Liga, but I don't think he's
Yeah,
a person has that personality to come into the Premier League and
Premier
put his
League.
foot down.
Yeah,
Yeah, and put his
I would
foot down.
love
And
to see that though.
I,
Imagine
I would love to see it. I love Xavi, and I actually enjoyed watching his Barca team
competing
play
with Pep.
before he left,
Yeah,
before competing with Pep. Yeah, but I think the right person for them is probably going to be Ruben Amorim. He plays with five at the back, and I think
Emery.
United have the players. No, Amorim, the sporting
Oh,
manager.
oh,
And I think like he's a coach that plays with five at the back. He's a coach that has his attacking players scoring goals. He's possession based, and United have players to play in that style. And of course, it's going to take time to coach that. But and also he's a young manager. Like we've seen young managers, the ones that are coming up recently, they've proven that their football works. Like you've seen it with Mikel Arteta, with Arne Slot, with Enzo
yeah,
Maresca so far. Like it's
yeah.
working. So I think that should be the number one choice.
I don't know because I feel like if you're gonna go with another manager who is like tactical, like oriented, like Ten Hag, and then they clearly get outplayed here, it just feels like a repeat of
Okay,
Ten
but
Hag.
here's the thing. I don't think Ten Hag, like I don't know if we looked at him closely. I thought he was an insane manager, by the way. I thought he's
Yeah,
gonna fix United. But
yeah,
when I looked at him closely, this guy, for example, I think we all watched the Liverpool United game earlier in the season,
yeah,
and that game showed everything. This guy was playing like in a build up on in the like on possession, Casemiro alone in midfield.
yeah.
No
You
no
can't do that.
manager plays that. At least in the Premier
Yeah,
League, everyone has two to three players across the middle,
yeah,
they can circulate the ball. With United, their six does not have passing options, like consistent passing options. There's no triangles being built. This is
yeah,
why you see Casemiro get the ball, try to hoof it
yeah.
up to Rashford, and it's very, very direct.
But
Whereas Amorim is
Casemiro,
possession based.
sorry, Casemiro has always had trouble
Yeah,
building up though.
exactly. So that's what I'm saying. Exactly.
You gotta protect him.
And Hawks football is not it's not football that's ever going to succeed. Anyone that I think like for us, we know football. We could see that from the very beginning. The way he plays football is not it, and the way Amorim plays, the way they build up, the way they are in possession. they're protected off the ball and they know how to circulate the ball. So I generally do think he's the right option for them.
And if you think about it, like think about what he did with Ajax, right? Okay, they were the best team, clearly quality
Mm.
wise, by far at the time. And okay, sure, you won the league, you made it to the semifinals. They played great football. They beat the Real Madrid team. So I think they had moments, but again, we didn't realize maybe, yo, they need to do more consistently. So when you go to United, you maybe don't have another season because okay, like they had like a not a fluke season, but like they had a season where everything went right. But we
Yes.
didn't see him when things are going wrong, things are not just right with United, and he was not used to managing a team that's just not doing well. So I think he just had a
Uh,
hard time adjusting.
if anything, Ajax should honestly hire Ten Hag alone, just because he made them so much money from getting the Exai back to United.
Legit
And
robbery.
he still couldn't make United play like Ajax after all those players. But
Legit, you
I
think it
think
would have been easier for Man United to keep like to play the way Ten Hag wants them, is considering the back line is United. Is former Ajax players.
at this point United should just get a coach that is a good coach. I think they keep buying like supposed attacking
Get a
managers
coach
because
as
they
a
want to
good
play the
coach.
United way. But like, what is
Yeah,
the
it's true
United way?
though.
They've been asked for like
I
10
know what you mean. I
years.
know what you mean. Like a
They
proven
need to rebuild. Yeah, they need to rebuild their whatever
experience.
their. Yeah,
Like,
man. Like,
if it needs to be a defensive coach, get a defensive coach. It's okay.
Do
but
you bring
sadly
back
they won't.
Ole?
What is it?
What,
As an
do you
interim, I
bring
definitely will.
Ole?
Oh,
Ole can come back and I don't
they
know because
traumatized him.
if you look at who could be coming up, like I don't want Carrick, I don't want Southgate, I don't want
No,
Potter to be honest. I wouldn't take him. So like the choices are slim.
I
I
mean they were in
honestly,
talks with Southgate last year,
what
I think, right?
they should do, what they should have done with Ole, just let him finish the year as interim, but just don't give the interim a new contract at the end. Just get a new coach at the end of the year.
Listen, if
Who do you want the interim to
Rude,
be?
like
Because
Rude,
I
he
feel
was
like
saying,
the good coaches, honestly, are like right now with clubs. I don't think any manager would probably leave like a stable club to go to them. So
yeah,
you might as well just get Ruud van Nistelrooy till the end of the season and just
yeah,
try to
end the
poach a
season
coach
for sure.
at the end of the season.
But I think we'd be surprised. I think like any manager at this point would leave for United. I know they're 14th, and I know there's turmoil and all that, but I think given their size, and every manager wants to be the one to fix United because imagine the name he's going to build for himself. The brand he's going to build for himself, given like you're the one who fixed United. So I don't think you can present the opportunity to any manager, especially a young one, and they say no, or a manager that's out of a job.
At this
So I'm
point, you
believing
would go to
Southgate.
United alone just from the salary and then the
Yeah,
severance
yeah,
package.
exactly.
Uh,
You should
uh,
not give that up ever, honestly. But honestly, with the Root situation, I think, yeah, you give him till the end of the season. But what do you do when Rude actually performs really well and you get the experience of maybe, remember when Ole played for half a season and they were like, give him the contract after the PSG game? Like, you get hyped up for the manager, but maybe it was a fluky half a season or you get a couple of games running and then you get a contract, and then the next season happens and they're bad.
If they wanna run in circles again, go right ahead. I won't complain. If
Listen,
they want to do the same thing, they won't learn.
I think Oli was treated unfairly because
I
he
agree.
did well with United. He fixed them when he was an interim, and then when he got hired full time, I think he finished second place. Of course, they were
No, not
miles.
second, but I think it was like third or something.
Yeah, okay, so he finished
Yeah,
in a pretty strong position, but
yeah.
they gave him Ronaldo the season after because they panicked when Man City. There was like rumors that Man City were in
Holland.
for Ronaldo. No,
Oh,
Ronaldo.
oh,
When
okay,
Man
okay.
City were in for Ronaldo. Um, and then Ferguson apparently got in touch with Ronaldo, told him you can't go there because there are rivals and all that, and then signing for United.
Yeah,
United changed their whole style of play,
yeah, yeah. I
and
remember that.
that was not only football anymore. And that was when their downfall started, and then he got the sack. I think if they continue in the way they had previously under him without Ronaldo, when they had Martial,
Yeah,
Rashford
yeah, yeah.
at the front, I think that was successful, Oli. So I think bringing him back as an interim is not a bad option, or using Ruud till the end of the
Rude,
season.
yeah. Honestly, the team, like United, went to become like a PR team. Like they need the PR, like for Ronaldo situation. Like
Yes.
what? But wasn't Haaland supposed to sign for City or something too? Like Haaland signs, and then there's pressure on United after.
No, so that's the summer, I'm pretty sure, where that was
After,
2022.
Hmm.
where was it 2022? I'm pretty sure it was 2022. Yeah, where Kane I think was supposed to go, but he didn't end up going, and then they were strongly linked with Ronaldo. But yeah, that Ronaldo link is what made United go for Ronaldo. That's exactly what happened. He spoke about it on that one Ferdinand podcast
Do
in the
you, do you,
interview.
do you think he looks at Ferguson and says, "Yo, you fucked me over"?
Who, Ollie or Ronaldo?
Like Ronaldo looks at, yeah, Ferguson like, "Yo, you fucked me over, making me come here."
Yeah, I mean, it definitely ruined some relationships that we don't know behind the scenes.
Honestly, I think Ronaldo's situation in United was complicated, but like it could have gone either way. But the way he handled it was horrible with such a big player. Like
Yeah,
you're not bigger than Ronaldo. Come on.
you're not. Sadly, you're not. Like we say, no club is bigger than a player, and Ten Hag tried to say that United is bigger, which of course they are. I'm not saying they're not,
Yeah,
but you don't handle a club legend like this. And by the way, bear in mind, this is a Ronaldo, a quote unquote finished, washed up Ronaldo, who the previous season under Ole, I think scored what? He got double digits in goals in the Premier League alone. He
yeah,
carried them through a lot of games. They want to say that he scored non-important goals. He carried them through the Champions League group stages. Without him, they would have been out.
You can't
damn.
fall out with too many
Mhm.
players. De Gea
Yeah,
and Sancho literally they could not wait a second before they posted emojis about like the Ten Hag sacking.
Really?
Yeah, like what is it? De Gea put an emoji, and I think like Sancho posted like the wave emoji.
Wow.
the wave. Oh my
So
Like
I,
lord.
no
goodbye,
one
yeah.
like you fall out with half of your team, and it's like somehow it's the players that I don't know.
Wait,
Ronaldo was always gonna win that. I don't know. Coach was not gonna win that like fight.
not at all. Especially with
Yeah.
players like that are actually loved by the fan base.
But one more question before we stop. What do you think is going wrong, like with United completely, like in a fundamental level? Like, is it just from the top to bottom? It's just shit.
Yeah, I think it's what was happening at Chelsea, where like they don't know what direction they want to go in. There's a lot of disagreements on a board level, and I think until you get that sorted, you don't succeed as a club because we only see the football, right? We only see the on the match days, like during midweek or on the
Yeah,
weekend, what's happening.
yeah,
We don't see what's going on behind the scenes during the week, like the disagreements happening. And I think until they get that fixed up, there's no progression that'll happen on the field.
yeah. And now this is the third manager. The captain Bruno has kind
Hmm.
of been under that's been gone or fired. So
Yeah.
again, I'll see. No, Ralph Ragnick didn't get fired. He just left and then the season. But yeah, I think it seems like United, like you said, don't know where they're going. But I don't understand. I think maybe you have to strip it all away. It's like the deadwood is on top too, just not the players. And
Yes.
To be fair though, that's what they did. I mean, I honestly United went through like the Arsenal route with Arteta. I mean, they supported like Arsenal for example supported Arteta
mm,
with every single thing he wanted. He got rid of every single deadwood and like terminated any contract in sight.
No,
yeah,
but on a
Like
board level, the same.
United, to be honest, did the same thing pretty much with Ten Hag. They fell out with Ronaldo and support Ten Hag over that. Sancho,
Yeah,
same situation.
but at a board
I think
level, like
it's
yeah.
from the
just
players.
I think just Ten Hag was just not the right man. Personally, I thought like they did, and I think if they get a new coach, they probably do the same route. But now they're just gonna wasted like
The
now
season.
3 more years of getting Deadwood.
And you know what's funny? They got the Man City CEO something Barada, and this guy was like, in 2027 we'll be. Well, I think he either said we'll win the league or we'll be competing for the. No, you won't. Based off of what? You just sacked another manager. Now you're gonna get a new manager in that's gonna tell you're gonna be in 2026. I don't know, man. I don't know where this club goes after this.
Thing
You know,
is,
they
yeah,
need a club appointment, like someone that
yeah,
saves
yeah,
them.
yeah.
Liverpool, they need a magician.
That's the only way I can see them turning around and like 2027 they're competing for the title. That's the only way.
Mhm. You need some magic.
Yeah. Well, okay. That's it for today. We wanted to drop this kind of because I thought both topics were really interesting, and I thought it's engaging enough because Twitter was exploding because of Vinicius. But hopefully you guys enjoyed. Subscribe, like, comment, follow us on Twitter. Twitters are below, and yeah, Wassim has a funny Bellerin profile picture. I realized today when I went to his profile, I was dying.
Bellerin
2016
stand.
I
He's
Bellerin.
support
Bellerin
my
stand.
boy. I support my boy to the end.
I was dying about. Okay, boys. See you later, and yeah, subscribe, please. See ya.
Peace.
Peace.